Yeah, I do. So I'll do a quick introduction, an overview of the pension situation, and I'll hand it over to MERS for their PowerPoint. But I do appreciate the time, allowing us the time tonight, Madam Chair, for this session. So it's no secret that the city of Flint has been struggling financially for years. We do face significant economic challenges, large structural deficit caused by years of deindustrialization, state funding reductions, recent rapid decline in population, increased legacy costs, which we're going to talk about tonight, emergency management mismanagement, past accounting and auditing gimmicks, but nevertheless, our city strives to become financially stable and to fulfill the promises that we've made to past and current employees, and we're going to need your help, cooperation to achieve that. So today, the city of Flint, I believe we talked about, is facing an approximate 25% increase in our minimum pension contribution payment. That starts in fiscal year 2024. The required contribution at this time is projected to go from around $32 million annually to approximately $40 million annually on July 1st, 2023, and remain around $40 million for the next 4 fiscal years. So this drastic increase in pension contributions is our most significant expense in the city's budget. So the outcome of these challenges is that the city of Flint faces ongoing general fund budget, structural general fund budget deficit, which with a $14 million reduction to fund balance in fiscal year 23 and a potential projected $20 million reduction to fund balance in fiscal 24. In addition, since fiscal year 2018, pension contributions have increased around 75% from 18 million annually to 32 million annually. City's average general fund revenue, as you know, is around 55 million. So having a payment of nearly $40 million for pension costs alone is not sustainable. Even making an annual pension contribution of 32 million is a tough stretch for the city. So the city recently released our its fiscal year 22-23 proposed budget and then the 23-24 forecasted budget. For 23-24 forecasted budget projects our city's general fund facing a negative $16 million deficit unless drastic corrective actions are taken. This deficit is primarily driven by the pension contributions, which grow at an alarming rate for years to come. This is not a deficit, unfortunately, that can be fixed by making minor cuts to expenses or small increases to revenues, for example, through increasing income tax rates. Instead, this is a deficit that likely only a substantial cash infusion can fix to ensure assets are on hand to pay pension benefits to current and future City of Flint retirees. So let me be clear, this is not a negative $16 million problem. This is a $250 million plus problem. If the state does not come through with a fix to pensions, I do not see a sustainable way forward at these costs. This is nothing new. The state and past administrations have known about this since at least 2017. As a matter of fact, according to RTAB meeting minutes in 2017, the RTAB themselves acknowledged that the pension system was in serious trouble, and without a cash infusion from the state, unfortunately, I cannot sit here without a cash infusion from the state. I cannot sit here today and assure you that there will be assets on hand to pay future pension benefits to current and future City of Flint retirees. Obviously, we have a moral obligation and constitutional mandate to fulfill our promises to our retirees. Recent calculations sent to the Michigan State Treasurer on March 4th, 2022 show that even with a significant lump sum contribution to the plan of $250 million, we will still have to make cuts to our budget to rebuild our general fund balance. This administration, along with council, is working hard to find a solution. We have met with the Michigan Department of Treasury on multiple occasions. However, no real long-term solutions or assistance regarding pension costs has been provided. If no action is taken, the city faces insolvency with no assets to meet our moral obligations and constitutional mandate to fulfill our promise to retirees and maintain city services. We cannot afford to be divided as we work through this seemingly impossible challenge of ensuring assets are in hand so the city can pay pension benefits while maintaining city services. So let's work together. I'm willing to set up work with the city clerk's office to set up one-on-one meetings or small meetings to further discuss the pension issues with council members, that any council member that wishes to meet. So as I mentioned tonight, we have MERS here and our actuary to talk about the City of Flint's retirement plan. But first, I do want to sincerely thank the team at MERS for their partnership and for working with the city as we seek a long-term solution. So now I'm going to hand it over to MERS for their PowerPoint.
Thank you very much, Rob. Is that close enough? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Got it. It's hard to ask them, but I appreciate it.
Usually when I hear it echo back, I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. As Rob mentioned, my name is Marnie Daggett, and I'm the regional manager that works with the City of Flint. And I've been working with the City of Flint for several years now and have been at MERS for over 12 years now. So one of my roles is to meet with councils like yourself, with union leadership, with city, county, village, all those different leaderships to make sure you understand the plan, the benefits you're offering, what solutions and opportunities there are, and make sure that there's a clear understanding of those and to run numbers or look at other possibilities. And so that's kind of my role. So I thank you again for allowing us to be here tonight. I'd also like to introduce David Couch, and I'll let him, perfect.
My name is David Couch with Gabriel Ritter Smith, the independent actuary for MERS. Our role at MERS is we're the ones that run the numbers. We perform the annual actuarial evaluations, which determine, in your case, they determine the amount of your unfunded and your annual required contribution that we're going to be talking about this evening.
Absolutely.
Before we get started, Mr. Whittingham, so for the audience, for the YouTube, what is the total amount of our MERS, our pension liability debt? What was our total amount that is owed? And how much are we unfunded, or is that inside of your, we just got this before you.
Sure, the figures are not actually in our presentation. Marnie's looking them up right now.
Okay,
There's a ratio that's in the presentation called the funded ratio. It's the assets as a proportion of the liability, basically telling you how much you have towards what you need. And your funded ratio is 27%. So you have on hand.
I'm sorry, we're how much?
27%.
Because I think the last time I checked it was 26.
Okay,
So
it
fluctuates.
It's a small fraction of what you need to have set aside to pay the benefits.
So what is our total amount that we have that?
Sure. So as of December of 2020, so you'll be getting the next valuation, but this is for your fiscal year that'll be starting up. So for the snapshot as of December 31st of 2020, the total liability is $559,118,749. The total number of assets at that moment in time was 149,785,51, putting you at 26.8% funded. So we rounded up to 27, but you were at 26.8. So that's where you're getting your number. Some people go to 26, some people go to 27, but that's where you're at. And then the total unfunded liability as of December of 2020 was $409,333,698.